Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Yeah. Jones. Hey. Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey. If you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.
All right, Las Vegas. Good afternoon. Greg Deville back again on the air time right here at hot702.5fm.com. Talking interest rates today. As many of you know, we do have tariffs that are making some changes. It's doing a little something with our interest rates as well. And so right now, regular conventional home loan, if we were to talk about interest rates, today's value interest rates, looking at 7.25% interest rate today. Want to encourage you, as we've been doing, for the last 9 years, to continue to encourage many of you to take advantage of this market. We don't know if it'll turn around. The feds will drop rates. We know that landlords are increasing rates. Got a phone call on yesterday evening. She said, Mr. Deville, I'm tired of my landlord. Every 6 months, look like he got something to change. And one of them are being the increase on the rent because they're in a 6-month lease. Landlords are starting to change the lease and able to do just what we're talking about, is increasing the rent. But when we talk about interest rates in rental, we're talking 100% interest rate, which means there's no return on your investment. So let's use an example. You got your home, and your home purchase came in, at 6.25. Well, let's go back a few years. Okay, I got my home interest rate at 4.25. Okay, 4.25 today. I'm down to 2.99. There is no increase when it comes to interest rates when you're in a fixed rate loan. So when we sell your home, we're talking about a fixed rate loan. We're not talking about adjustables. We've done away with investor. Investor only has interest rate only loans, right? You could do bulk loans. You can do interest only loans. We're not, the predatory lending done away with. For homeowner occupant buyers, keep this in mind. Your opportunity to rent a house will continue to gradually increase over time when it comes to your rent. Meaning the landlord may go up anytime he feels after the lease. Know someone renting a 3-bedroom apartment paying $2,100, 3-bedroom apartment. Every year it increases. That's an increase from last year. I think last year was like $1,900. They went up like $200. Now, I know you say interest rate is high and getting into home ownership can be costly. It costs you not to be involved in home ownership. It costs you not to have your own property. So today, as I was evaluating interest rates, a conventional loan right now is running about 7.25 conventional. But of course, conventional in many cases you don't have, the mortgage insurance, a lot of different factors to consider. But when you talk about an FHA, but you're going to have some mortgage insurance, right? But you're talking 6.65%, which is better than last year, right? We were up there pretty good. We're coming down a little bit. I want to make sure that we're not making so big of a interest involved in interest rates as we are ownership, because we'll miss the forest for the trees worrying about interest rates when we pay 100% to the landlord. So I want to do what I like to term as raise the awareness, because as I took notes today, if you're renting a house, let's just use an example. Today's rate on a 3-bedroom runs you about $2,100 a month. That's on the low end. I don't know, many of you may be higher. Depending, it's all about location, right? It's all about where you are. $2,100 a month times 12 months, you've paid $25,200 annually for that rental house. Times, let's say you've been there 3 years, you've given $75,600 away in rents with no return on your investment. Now let's use that same statement in the mortgage. So if I pay $2,100 a month times 12 months, I will have paid $25,200 towards my loan. And over the 3 years, I will have paid into it somewhere $75,600 because I'm putting that into my own pocket. I hope you follow where I'm going. Now, as another example, when you think about what the rental, now remember, $2,100 times 12 months is $25,000 a year. Keep in mind that when you pay or when you get a loan at a fixed rate, this never changes. It never changes from $2,100 a month. If that's your mortgage, $2,100 a month, 30-year fixed. Now, unless taxes may increase a little bit over time, but the mortgage doesn't change. So you have a mortgage, tax, and insurance. Insurance may go up because we know insurances have had to pay out. So they may be going up a little bit, right? We understand, right? Taxes go up, property tax value goes up. Not a whole lot. You're talking 30, 40, $50 perhaps. But that mortgage payment, because there's 3 entities that make up this one payment every month, right? So you got a mortgage, tax, and insurance. And some of you have HOAs. Now, the mortgage payment is the mortgage payment. Now, the mortgage payment may just be $1,800. And the reason you're at 21 is because you got tax and insurance. And it goes into a reserve impound account so that at the end of the year, you have enough money in there to pay your taxes. You have enough money in there to pay the insurance annually, right? So they put a little bit every month from each month, and then they do a reserve account. Boom, everything's paid. That's why you never have to pay taxes out of pocket on mortgage when you're paying mortgage. At the end of the year, you don't have to pay your property tax because it's in that impound reserve account. But again, $2,100, and I can assure you that if you've been there 3 years, I can assure you didn't start at 21 and still at 21 3 years later. And if so, your landlord is your uncle. Because most investors today who buy property are buying property for the sake of getting interest on their money. Now, but here's the deal. A landlord is on a fixed rate. That's right. Landlord is on a fixed rate. What does that mean to you? That means that you're paying his mortgage. Because although he goes up on you every year, his fixed rate mortgage remains the same. So that means to say that he's increasing every year to another number, which puts more in his pocket. Because most investors either pay cash or they do a fixed rate loan. Nobody wants to live with this adjustable stuff, adjustable rates. Where am I going to be next year? Remember, we had that predatory lending back in 2008 and in those many years where all these lenders were actually 2003 to about 2007. You had a lot of predatory lending. You can refinance later and, get a better rate. And guess what? The bottom fell out. And that's why so many lost their homes and so many have gone underwater into what is termed short sales, foreclosures. Many have did deed in lieu. Sometimes the banks were giving you cash out, right? They were cashing you out if you would leave the keys and lock the door, take your stuff, So they were giving you, relocation funds, they termed it, right? Now, keeping this in mind, $2,100 a month times 12 months is $25,200 for the year. Times 3 years is $75,600. This is why they say keep your house 5 to 7 years, because if I'm paying $75,000 in the first year, then in the first 3 years, 3 more years, I got $150 in equity, right? Typically, it's the way things go. And the more properties sell, the more value increase. But if we're in the market right now that we're in what I like to term as a buyer's market, meaning buyers got options, man. Right now today, when for a person that's approved under $475,000, and they're looking to purchase in the North Las Vegas area, because we say North Las Vegas because they have the larger homes for the less price. You want more bang for your buck, right? A lot of bells and whistles out there. Because the pig farm kind of stunted growth of North Las Vegas. So they're slow to catch up. However, they're catching up. But a home right now in North Las Vegas under $475,000, there are 371 homes available, 3-bedroom homes in the area of Mojave High School, Legacy High School, and Canyon Springs. These homes, they're on the market currently available for sale. 371 homes. What does that mean to a buyer that's shopping under $475,000? Let's go here. I've been getting emails of properties that are currently coming on the market. Properties under $400,000 for sale right now. 3 and 4, 5-bedroom homes. There's 187 homes available for sale. So altogether, in the North Las Vegas area, there's nearly 500 homes available for sale that are actively on the market. That means that's competition. That means you've got options. So if you're approved under $400,000, you got 187 homes in the North Las Vegas area that you could choose from. That's quite an inventory. So what are you going to do? What are you waiting for? There's choices out there. Many people rent a house, and the one they really want, they never get. They always get the one that, it's okay, and they make do. Well, I want you to get that attitude and make do. Get you a home that you can stay in, build some equity. Because remember, $2,100 a month times 12 months is $25,200 a year. So if I'm paying that a year in a landlord, a mortgage is about $2,100 a month. So if I'm doing it for a landlord, let's make sense of this. Can we do that? Let's make sense of it and say, you know what? I think I'm going to take Deville up on his word. 702-349-0162. 702-349-0162 is my contact information. I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me an email, DevilleRealtyLV@gmail.com. DevilleRealtyLV at gmail.com. Or you can go to YouTube, Greg Deville, get my contact, or you can ask Google. Google knows who I am. She and I, we've been hanging out. Now I spoke about the North Las Vegas area. I want to speak to you about the Centennial Hills. I personally live right on the edge of Centennial Hills currently. Under $400,000. And that number is a real popular number right now. There's a lot of homes at 380, 360, 395. So under $400,000 home buyer right now in the Centennial Hills, there's 103 homes available. Get approved right now at $400,000. You got 103 homes to choose from. Now, listen, I'm not going to show you 103 homes. I'm not going to show you 103 homes. However, we're going to show you the larger, the grander of the 103. We'll show you 5 or 6, right? Come on. We're not going out in 100 degrees to find the dream home, because at 400, there's no dream home. It's going to be a home that you say, I like the area. It's going to be a home that you say, I like the floor plan, right? The bigger thing that I want you to like is the payment that is fixed, number one. Number two, that it's over 30 years. And number three, you gain equity from ownership. Those are the 3 takeaways that I want you to have today. Is the interest rate right now, depending on how you're buying, whether you're coming in conventional, 7.25, FHA, 6.65. Or now remember, there are programs available for down payment assistance. Now, this down payment assistant has his own number. These are federal grants. Anyone can use them that can qualify. They're not allocated to anyone particular other than a FICO score of above 620. We can get you in these properties, get you the money down. Just keep in mind, the rate may be higher. Now, the down payment assistance program rate is 7.75. But again, I want you all to stop giving so much attention to interest rates, especially when you're renting from a landlord who's charging you 100%. So if he's charging you 100%, I'm going to get you a house with no money down at 7.75, which sounds better. There's advantages to homeownership because you're going to get equity. So we talked about at $2,100 a month on a mortgage or paying rent, all the same, at 7.25%. Right now, 21,000. So times 2,100 times 12 is 25,200 for the year. Whether you're renting or buying, still the same amount, right? Except when you're renting, someone else is getting the advantage. Someone else is getting the benefit. Someone else is getting the equity from what you're paying for. So when we look at my notes, times 3 years at $2,100 a month, whether renting or home ownership, whether you rent or own, it's still going to be $75,600. So if you have the ability to put $75,600 in your own pocket for the 3 years, or you could put $75,600 in a landlord's pocket. Now somebody's going to get the equity out of this number. That's a number, because there's a couple things happening here. One of being the principal is going down, right? You're buying down the principal. First 3 years is not a lot of money off the principal. But after that third, fourth, fifth year, things are starting to get a little bit more toward the principal. First for 3 or 5 years, you're really just paying interest, right? But at least I'm paying it toward my own. I'm investing in my own. And that's the thing I want many of you to understand, is that if you're going to pay $2,100 a month, which equals out to $25,200 a year, why not pay it in your own pocket? Why not reap the benefit of the equity for yourself? Because at the end of the day, the landlord's getting it, and you're paying off his house, or at least a portion towards paying it off. Because the purpose investors purchase homes is to let the tenants pay them off. So if I can make you realize the reality of what that really looks like and what that would look like for you. What would that look like for you if you could say $2,100? I'm gonna pay it either way it goes. Either way it goes, I'm paying $2,100. But the thing about next year, it made $2,200. It may go to $2,300. That's in a rental. But when we talk about owning, that $2,100 is $2,100, whether you stay 5, 10, 30 years, it's $2,100. That mortgage is going to be that mortgage. So don't shy away, because remember, after 3 years in a rental house, what do you have to show? I know what you've shown, and you've shown the landlord you're a good renter. But what you have to show for yourself, because we determined to thine own self be true. And the real game is to say, you know what? I got to get in the hustle of having my own. Because I know when you paid that car off, how happy you felt. I own it. It's mine. I ain't got to worry about missing a payment. And let me add this. I just got this email. When you own a home, well, let's talk about it from the rental. When you rent a house, did you know if you don't pay your rent by the 5th, they have to serve you a 5-day notice? North Las Vegas, I think it's 3-day. City, county, Clark County, it's a 5-day, 7-day. The end of the day, you get that notice by the 8th or 10th, no later than the 10th of the month. You get that notice to pay or quit, right? And these apartments, and I'm not clear why it is, but they don't. If you get paid bi-weekly, they're not willing to work with you. You know, that's the thing about that. They're not willing to work. You can set your mortgage up for bi-weekly payments if that's the way you're paid. Set it up in escrow, in that reserve account. That every 2 weeks you're gonna pay, what is it, $2,100? You're gonna pay $1,050 every paycheck. And guess what accumulates to $21 every month? So I'm saying that because there's advantages to home ownership. So the other thing about that is when you own, now we talked about the rental side, you get that pay or quit by the 10th, no later than 10th, actually the 8th. If it's due by the 5th, some of them have by the 3rd. And then a day or two after that, they write up the notice. I mean, they got copies of them in the office. They just fill them in. Fill them in, pay the $30 fee, and then charge you $150. Now, when you own a home, your mortgage isn't late until after the 15th. Now, many of you will have had that paycheck, probably that first and the second by then. But technically, the late fee is typically $30, max $50. You know, end of the day, it's not a big number. But you could pay your mortgage on the 30th. You just don't let it go into the next month. But you have so much flexibility with paying a mortgage by the end of the month. Now, if it goes into the next month, it's going to report a 30-day late. We don't want to have a 30-day late, right? So just pay it at $11.55 on July 30th. Just as long as you don't go into and that's only if you had a tight month, right? Something came up, you did. There's leverage when it comes to home ownership. I'm not under the stress of the landlord putting me out, the landlord evicting, the landlord, you feel me? I mean, take you to court. And the cool part about landlords is they literally can take you to court, and you can have the money. And you know what they can do? Because I've had to do it for landlords and management in real estate. Is the landlord say, I don't want the money now. I want the house back. Especially, here's the danger, especially if you're paying rent below average rental market right now. It would behoove you never to be late, not to even crunch or take a chance, because he wants to get regular rate anyway. He wants to get above average than what you're paying. I mean, people paying $1,200 for a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house. I'm like, you've been living there a long time. They're like, I've been here 5 years, and brag about it. The end of the day, brother, but what do you have to show? You paid down his principal. I know some people right now renting a house from a landlord, and granted, he bought it years ago, but he's paying $950 a month for 4-bedroom house. You almost never want to move, right? Like, man, $950. That 4-bedroom house, I talked to the owner because he wanted to sell at one time. That 4-bedroom house could really get $2,100. He's settling for $9,000. Do you know if they move out, he would really be glad, right? Because he can get $2,100, possibly 23, 4-bedroom up near Centennial. Might be 23, depending on what he does to upgrade the property, put the laminate floors. So I wanted to talk about rates today because the rates determine your payment, right? What your payment's going to look like, depending on the interest rate. It's going to determine how much you pay per month at that rate. So 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group, the name you need to know right here in the Valley. We've been helping countless of families for over 20 years in real estate in Las Vegas. I've been 9 years a broker here in Las Vegas. So I'm having fun helping families. I enjoy immensely what I do. And I want to help you next because you're next in line for a miracle. You really are. And if you make contact with me, I'm going to set you with the lender. Let's get you pre-approved. Now, if you're a veteran, and let's say you've used your benefits before, there's a possibility you can still use your VA again. A very strong, must I add, possibility. Now, it doesn't matter that you used it before and let's say you deed in lieu or you short sold or they foreclosed. There is hope for those of you that has even BK'd. If you've had a BK, there's still a great opportunity for many of you to take advantage of where the market is. Stop saying interest rates are high. So is rent. I'll say that again. Interest rates, yes, they are high, but so is rent. And they're only high based on you just getting here. Because in 2005, when I got licensed as a realtor, interest rates were 12 and 13%. Normal. If you got a 10-9, you good. It looks high in comparison to what we've seen in the 2016, 2012 eras where the rates went down and they were really, really well. But to see that again, probably not. I remember when they were 4%, I was asking people, take this money, come get this deal. And you know what? Oh, Mr. Deville, I'm going to wait till the rates come back down. Guess what they did? They only soared up. And now those same people that were able to qualify can't qualify for anything. At least nothing that they would want to live in. Probably going to be a condo, right? At the end of the day, condos are even coming up in price. Townhomes are coming up in price. So what are you going to do different? And right now we're in the second quarter of the year. What are you going to do in the second quarter of the game that's going to make a play? Be ready to have halftime, and now this is the time of year everybody's moving and shaking. Everybody getting ready for the new school year. We want to be in position. We want to be here when our kids go to school there. It's the time to do it. If you're a realtor and you're not working, it's not the market, it's you. If you're a realtor and you're not working, it's not the market, it's you. You've got to get out there. You've got to pound the pavement. Too many times we sit back waiting on people to call us. Go out there and reach them. That was a plug for realtors. But I'm just saying the market is great right now. It's a great time to be a realtor. It's a great time to be in real estate. Now, as I mentioned to you, in North Las Vegas, homes selling under $400,000. There's 187 choices under $400,000. All you got to do is get approved for $380,000, $400,000. I just want you to get started on your first. It's not about money for me. Listen, I've been blessed to make a stream of money. Money cometh, right? Money cometh. Not bragging, just boasting in the Lord. God's been great. God is great. It's been a wonderful ride. But let me say this, that I want you to get out of paying somebody else's mortgage because he bought it for less than $200,000. And now he's charging you rent on a mortgage payment. Get a home right now. Under $475,000 in North Las Vegas. Now that will consider Mojave High School District, Legacy High School District, and Canyon Springs High School District would be considered North Las Vegas, right? Now I know some of Rancho High School's there as well, but we want more of the newer style, newer homes, right? So you would go on the north side of Craig. Now we know Canyon is, but it's just a couple blocks, Canyon Springs from Craig. But nonetheless, I want many of you to take the opportunity. Don't say I can't. Yes, you can. Make a move, make something happen. How you do that? Make a call. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, 702-349-0162. The Wealth Builder. I'm helping you build wealth for yourself, you and your family, like my intro song. Building wealth for you and the family. Leaving a legacy behind. How many times family members, parents have passed on and they've never left anything? Some clothes, some shoes, some debt, maybe a car or two. But how many have real estate? Let's change what we're accustomed to seeing. Getting to the place where stop doing car washing to bury our loved ones. We got people that's in the insurance. Get those policies. But let's be smart on how we're going to do what we're going to do. So under 400,000 approval right now, 187 homes, not thousands, but 187 homes are available under 400,000. That's just in North Las Vegas. Now, if I go to Centennial, under 400, there's 103 homes available, right? So if I go to Summerlin, under 550,000, there's 136 homes available. Now, Summerlin's a different beast, right? It's a different number. I didn't have time to go into the Henderson. But if you want more information, contact me directly, 702-349-0162. I'd love to go over the numbers with you. Let's get you set up. Let's talk to the lender. If you don't qualify now, let's get an idea of when. Because it's never no, it's just not right now. But when am I able to qualify? When can I possibly get my own? When? As transparent as I am, back in 2015, I wanted to get ready to get back into the game, the market. I was in the decline of the market, lost stuff. Wanted to get back into homeownership. Talked to the lender at the time. I wasn't ready. Bill, you're not ready. It's not no, just not right now. But here's the game plan. Here's the strategy. If you go to the doctor, I like to call it a prescription. Here's your prescription into homeownership. How about that? Can we do that? Are you with me? At the end of the day, she gave me that prescription, that game plan, that strategy. And Deville, within 90 days, if you do what I'm giving you, you good. I guarantee. Listen, I'm 9 years in my home, and I got it in 2016, and I did what she told me to do, and she said within 90 days you'll be approved. Now listen, if I could sell your home within 90 days, many of you, your leases are up, about to expire. That's the time to get a head start. You may not need as many things as I needed, because one of the factors for me was I'm big on paying cash for stuff, right? I buy a boat, pay cash, buy a car, pay cash. So I didn't have trade lines. I didn't have credit to show because I cash everything, which isn't always good because you don't get a track record. You don't get a history of payments. You need that history. Now, if you got a problem with your credit cards and you're overspending, put them in a drawer. Just make your payments every month. Make your payments, keep your payments going. If you make those payments, good to go. You got your revolving credit line. Now, at the end of the day, you want to use them and pay them. Use them and pay them. That shows the lender your ability to pay. That's what I didn't have an ability to pay because I didn't have anything, no credit card. But her assignment was get 2 credit cards, go to Rental Karma, get your rental history. They were able to build me a portfolio of trade lines. So I work with great lenders who we can help you do the same. You just got to make the contact with us at 702-349-0162. It's imperative that I hear from you. It was 4th of July weekend. My voice is just kind of gone. we had fun. We're out on the lake. It was beautiful. Oh my goodness. So anyway, but in the Summerlin area, Under 500,000, there are 136 homes available. So there's plenty of inventory. You've got options. I'm sure to find something you like under 500,000, 136 homes in Summerlin. It's got to be about. Now, if you can't find something when you got these kind of numbers, like I stated, Centennial Hills under 400, there's 103 homes available. That's a lot of inventory. If you're thinking about selling your home, it's a competitive market. You got to price it right. And then right now, many sellers are opting to give closing costs. That's setting many sellers apart. You've got to put room in there for closing costs. Because why do you say that, Deville? Well, if there's 187 homes, what's going to be his benefit to buy your home? Helping with closing costs, giving assistance with closing costs. Well, what does it look like? Well, just know 3% of 300,000, $2,400. You may have to help him. It's $9,000. So at $9,000, you may have to give him $4,500. You have to give him half, right? So end of the day, just know these markets right now, it's a buyer's market. We've got so much inventory, and you, I guess you can understand, being that we just gone through a lot of layoffs. This new administration, people have lost job, income. Some of the hotels have shut down, like the Tropicana. All those jobs, not everybody was replaced. Meaning we're displaced. Again, there's a lot of, real estate, and this is your time to get in. Now, I can help you. If you need to sell your home, I can help you sell it. But that price is very imperative that you consider that price, because, your competition is really going to be North Las Vegas. They've got 180, almost 200 homes under $400,000. So if you're outside, let's say you're in the middle of, the city, Winchester, some of those areas, competitive. Under 400, 187. What's going to set you apart that makes people you want to purchase your home? Have you done the upgrades? Granite counters, new ambient lights, curb appeal. What does all that look like? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be with competition. So I want to encourage you, get out there. Let's get our pre-approvals ready. Let's get what we need. For somebody just tuning in, we're talking interest rates today. What are the rates looking like? Again, conventional, which is a benefit to go conventional, right? 7.25%, 7.25. FHA, which is first-time home buyers, right? Typically, right now, 6.65%, better than last couple months back. And the down payment assistance, as I mentioned to many of you, you want to get into having a down payment. Maybe you don't have a rich uncle or aunt or mom or dad. But let me say this, if your parents want to help you with the down payment, the restrictions have loosened a bit that it's possible. Okay, it is possible. So if you want to loosen up on, they want to help you with the down payment, they just have to give you a gift letter saying they're not loaning you the money, they're gifting you the money. That's the only difference. It just can't be another loan. The lender doesn't want to know you getting another loan to buy a home. They want to be the only one, first position on that loan. So, but you can get it from a family. It's called a gift. Somebody can gift it to you. It doesn't have to come out the bank now. They just have to be able to say, they just have to take it to the title company. Can't give it to you directly. Now, remember this. They can't give it to you directly. They have to, once you find a home, we open up escrow, they have to put that money in escrow. That's going to be money set aside, allocated for your down payment. Now, it's very doable. Problem being is you being able to qualify for the home. So let's do our due diligence now. Let's get you pre-approved. Let's find out how much you qualify for. Because right now, as I mentioned, under 400,000, 187 houses you can pick from. I just need you to get approved. If you're thinking of selling, as I mentioned to you already, we can help you sell your home, get your equity out, and purchase another home. whatever. If you're losing now, let's talk about that for a moment. Because if you're in default or you think you're going into default on your mortgage, let Team Deville help you. Team Deville, we can help get that property sold and save that equity. I just got a lady $142,000. She was losing her home. She was 4 months behind. They were preparing to bring a foreclosure sale date. As her realtor, I was able to do what I do and get that postponed and push that away for a later date. In between that later date, we got her done. Later date, got her done. Right? But this is what your realtor, Greg Deville, Team Deville can do. And I've trained my agents. This is what we do. We sit down, we go over that file, and we find the best avenue. You're in trouble with the mortgage? It's okay. Stop staying up late at night trying to figure it out. You done borrow from everybody you can. At the end of the day, it's time to pay the piper, piss or get off the pot, face the elephant in the room, whatever term you deem necessary, it's time to deal with it. Because every month you stay in the house is more money coming off the profit that you get from the sale. So let's say, for instance, this lady got 142. Had she waited a few more, that'd have been another 5,000 off the 142. But we caught her, let her understand, here's what you need to do. We had to sell it below market price just to get it done. Why? 187 homes in just North Las Vegas. Summerlin's got 136 under 500,000, right? And Centennial Hills under 400 has 103. So we add all this up together. We nearly 500 homes under 400,000, 400 and 500,000. We got nearly 500 homes. At the end of the day, that's a lot of property to choose from. So again, if you're in default, you got to sell the home. We can save the equity, sell the home. Within a year or so, your credit score goes back up. You save some of that money from the close of the deal, and let's say you put 20% down. Guess what your possibilities are? You didn't lose the house, so you're not in. You don't have a foreclosure against you. You did a sale, so it's considered selling the property. But your score has taken a hit for however many months you've had no payment. So 4 months and no payment. So your credit has really taken a beating, right? It's taken a beating from the lack of payments. But how do we rectify? What do we do to get ourselves back in the driver's seat, in the pilot seat, where we can start, gearing our places of life where we want to be? So you're going to rent for about 6 months. You're going to rent for about a year. No more than 2, right? Depending on how much credit stuff you got to get back on track. But the advantage is that the 4 months behind, as far as the, home is concerned on the mortgage payments, it's going to show that default. But now you can pay down some of those credit cards. Now you can pay down some of those debts because you're going to have the equity from your home. There's many of you got a ton of equity. And if you could just take out 20,000 would fix everything. 20,000 would say, but because your scores, you got 220,000. I know I got over 200,000, but my score took a hit because of some things that happened in the industry, right? It's okay. We work other avenues, but there are many of you that this is a great avenue is to do a HELOC, to be able to get that money out of your home to answer some of your problems. But because the FICO score in order to do a home equity line of credit is required a minimal 680. Now, we can help get you to that number, but the foreclosure may come before then. So if they've already put a foreclosure, notice, please do yourself a favor and read the mail, because many times you say you're behind. It's coming from the bank or whatever. There might be a sale date, and it'd be a horrible thing. Somebody knocks at your door and say, "We're the new owner. We bought this house at the auction. Here's your eviction notice." Why? Because they're the new owner. And so I don't want to frighten you, but I do want you to think about the possibilities of selling that home, taking the equity, run to the hills, stay for about a year, run your credit again. Guess what? You may be good in a year, go buy another home. You'll have the money down. I just gave you 100,000, 200,000, whatever that number is. It wasn't for you to go play. It was for you to pay attention, be smart, reinvest it. What are you going to reinvest it in? Back into real estate. So you're going to wait 1 year, one Christmas tree, one Thanksgiving dinner, one Easter basket, one Resurrection Sunday service in that apartment. After that, you back into your own house. And so those are the kind of things we want to talk about. Don't let interest rate frighten you. Because again, the interest rates, they do go up and down. But when you buy a house, they're fixed. So listen, I've given you guys a lot of information. I'm not out of information. I'm just out of time. But I want to make sure that you know every Wednesday, 12 noon, high noon, every Wednesday, the Greg Deville, let's talk wealth and real estate. You know, I'm the wealth builder, Greg Deville. I enjoy helping so many of you. Thank you for the many referrals that you all are sending my way, saying, hey, call Greg Deville. I got a call from a friend of mine yesterday. And he said, man, I just want to know if I can give your number out. I said, would you please give my number out? Post it on anything. Doesn't matter. End of the day, I give it to you on the radio. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group. Name you need to know right here in the Valley. Having fun, the open families, man. Can I help yours next? I would love to do so. Look me up. Let's get together. Let's talk about some things that might help you get in position. If credit is the issue, then we can fix that. Not a big deal. We can fix that, right? I had credit issues. I didn't have any credit. I mean, you know, no credit is worse than bad credit. I learned that from a lender. I thought that's an oxymoron statement sound like to me. No credit worse than bad credit. She said, yeah, because at least bad credit, I know you don't pay. No credit, I don't have a clue of what you might do, right? That's why they need to look at your track record. That's why we say pay your bills. And those of you that are in default with your mortgage, do not stop paying your HOAs, because the junk and late fees, they can foreclose too. So please, if you have HOAs, do not go delinquent. They're worse than the bank. And their junk fees, they call late fees, out of this world. So don't do that. And most of the time, they're way less expensive than a mortgage anyway, right? So just pay that $50 or $100, whatever that might be. Make sure you pay that, all right? So again, I'm certainly out of time, but not out of information. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, I look forward to talking to you again next Wednesday at 12 noon. Don't forget the interest rate. Don't let it bother you. You ought to be bothered about that rent that keeps going up, right? We're talking fixed rate on a purchase, but increasing rate on a rental. So till I talk to you next time, Las Vegas, may God's best be yours.
Yeah. Jones, hey. Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey. If you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You want to be a broker, you want to be broke. You want to be the joker, you want to be the joker. You got to bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.